Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this cute bison is the current pattern in the Funny Faces Quilt Block of the Month Club. So when I say current, it is July 1st, 2023, and this is the pattern that's exclusive to Funny Faces Club members throughout the month of July. So if you join anytime in the month of July, this is the pattern that you're going to get instantly. If you're already in the club, you should have already received an email with a link to download the pattern. Here's how to make it. All right, this is the video showing you how to assemble the bison block with a light box. So first I'll just give you a quick look at my light box setup. I've got 3 layers here. I've got my light box. I've got it turned on and as high, as bright as I can make it. I've got the placement guide, and then I have a clear silicone mat. I've got all of the pieces all prepped and ready to go, so they are all cut out on the solid lines. For the light box, you can ignore the dotted lines, except on this piece, we will need to transfer those eyelashes to the fabric side because they are not a placement guide, they are a stitching line, and we will need those visible on here when we don't have the light box in front of us. Because this is a version that I'm going to do with the eyelashes. You can leave the eyelashes off if you want, but I think it looks extra cute with the eyelashes. So I just used a regular Sharpie for that. I'm going to stitch over those lines with black thread, so you will never see that line again. It doesn't matter that it is permanent. All right, we are going to start with piece number 1. So every piece is numbered, and those numbers are both a guide to placement to show you what piece is what. With some of the pieces, it can be a little confusing. But with a light box, it also tells you in what order you're going to lay those pieces down. So we're going to start with piece number 1. And then piece number 2, if I can find it here. This guy has a lot of pieces. He has 15 pieces, which seems like a lot, but it's not super complicated to put together. So number 2 is the underside of one of his ears. He has 2-piece ears, which lets him look like those ears are kind of folded over. So next up is number 3. And that goes here. So it looks like it is a problem because you have these pieces overlapping the body pieces and you feel like the ears should be coming behind that. It's okay. These overlapped bits are all going to be underneath the face piece. So it all works out. So number 4 now is the top part of those floppy ears. And number 5 is the top part on the other side. All right, number 6 is his face. And from my view, I can see this line here at the bottom, but I'm not sure if you can because it is a darker fabric. If you're having trouble seeing any of the lines through a darker fabric or through multiple layers, just push down. You don't have to push hard. Just make actual contact with the stacked layers that I have on the board here, and those lines will shine through much better. The fabric just tends to bow up a little bit because of the fusible adhesive on the back, and when it is not making contact, it's a little more difficult to see the lines through it. So there we go with that. And this one has lots of shaggy points on it, which will help you get the placement just right. So that was piece number 6. Now 7 is the kind of the lip that's going to show underneath his nose. And again, we'll just push that down so we can see it. And there it is right there. And now 8 is his nose. And again, I'm just tapping down so I can see those lines through there. And then 9 and 10 are pretty small little pieces, and I appear to have lost one. I'm going to have to find that before I fuse it down. But 9 and 10 are the little nostrils. There, I see it now. Are the nostrils that go on his nose. And these are small pieces. Small pieces are not always the most fun to outline. I'm going to outline stitch these. It is definitely possible, but if you dislike outlining tiny little pieces, there is a link in the pattern to a post that has a whole bunch of different options for ways you can do the small pieces like the nose piece. So that was 9 and 10. Now we're going to do 11 and 12 are the eyes, which are significantly larger than the nostrils, but you can still use all of those tips in that post about small pieces. You can use them for the eyes as well. There's links to my favorite fabric paints, links to my favorite fabric markers. There's information about hand embroidering the eyes, machine embroidering the eyes. There's a file for a free pattern, some free download files for different sizes of ovals that you can satin stitch if you have an embroidery machine. Lots and lots of different options. So now we're going to work on the horns. These are 13 and 14 here. And they just go over the ears because we want it to look like these horns are coming out of his forehead. And then we've got a horn on this side. And then one last piece is this awesome kind of shaggy top knot of fur. That is piece number 15. And there it goes. Okay, so I'm going to carefully lift this silicone mat up off of my light board. I'm going to take it over to my ironing board, fuse everything in place right on the mat. That's going to make it basically all fused together, so it's then just one large applique piece that I position on the block, fuse down in place again. Then I'll do all of the outline stitching around it, and I'll bring it back here and I'll show you the finished block, and I will also show you a couple of other color options that I did and a version without the eyelashes so you can see what that looks like. All right, here is the finished bison. This is one of the color options that I did. So this is one, I always forget to mention this, but I'm trying to remember. The bison itself is, all of the colors are from the Grizzly blenders, which is all the different shades of brown that I have. And this background block is also one of the Grizzly blenders. So he is brown on brown on brown, but you get a range of light and darks within those blenders. And so it works. But here are a couple of other options. So on this version, the bison is also from the Grizzly blenders, but the background block is one of the strawberry blenders from the Farmer's Market collection. And I have one more version. Oh, before I switch to the next one, I did want to show you that this one has got some eyelashes stitched on there, which makes it extra cute. And I've got one more. So this one uses all of these shades of orange are in the Cantaloupe blenders collection, which is also part of the Farmer's Market collection, like the strawberry blenders here. And this background block is from the Animal Kingdom collection. This is one of the blocks that I've got that you can get this fabric from Spoonflower as 12-inch squares, and it has the quilting lines already printed on the fabric. So when you are quilting the blocks, you just follow those lines, and it's a great way, especially if you're just getting started with this kind of quilting, it's a great way to get some practice doing it before you try and do it without any lines. So that is the bison block. This is the funny exclusive to the Funny Faces Quilt Block of the Month Club for the month of July. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World. I'll see you next month.